Have you ever been so burnt out that you just basically want to rot on the couch all weekend? Hey, I'm Chrissy, the emotional intelligence nurse, and I am here today to help you understand your biology and your psychology. So let's break this down. When you have been working, you've been on like a go, 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 you are doing all the things for all the people, and then you just kind of hit a wall and you feel like, oh, I'm so burnt out, I'm exhausted, you've lost interest in things, you're irritable, you can't sleep, or all you want to do is sleep, or you can't eat, or all you want to do is eat. This is explained by your nervous system. So what I have behind me here is the window of tolerance. We talk about this a lot in counseling. It's talked a lot. It has roots in our trauma therapy modalities. But what we want you to understand is when you are in a stress response, and I have another video for that, I will link to this one. But when you are in a stress response, your sympathetic nervous system is activated. That's your fight, flight, freeze kind of range of nervous system things. There will be things that happen in your body. Muscle tension, your focus changes, your ability to focus changes, your breathing patterns change, all of those things mentioned in the other video. So what I want you to understand is when you have a stressor, that's a stimulus, and you have a stress response, your reaction from your nervous system, your sympathetic response, you are not in this window of tolerance. So what your window of tolerance is it is when you are cool, calm, collected. You may have heard in the flow, in the zone. What is something that you are passionate about that you could do and lose all track of time? Time becomes irrelevant. You are just immersed in it and you are loving it. You're creative, you're present, you are using all of your five senses. Your full brain is online. That is the window of tolerance. Now, some of us might have a really little window of tolerance. Some of us may have a big range of our window of tolerance. And that all depends on a lot of things like our upbringing and our trauma and epigenetics and a whole bunch of things that is another conversation. So our window of tolerance, that is when we're in the flow. Things are great. What happens, a stressor will take us outside either to hyperarousal or to hypoarousal. Hyperarousal, think fight, flight. You're ready to throw fists or you're ready to run out the door. When we go into this hyperarousal, we're tight, we're tense, we're huffing and puffing, we can't catch our breath. Sometimes we push even harder. That's where you hear things like no team or team no days off is what I meant to say. And that can be a place that many, many clients exist for a long time. I have had clients who have been functioning in hyperarousal for decades. It has a habitual kind of nature to it. Follow the other video and you'll get more info on that. But what happens is I have clients come in and they've been in a hyper aroused state. They have been out of their window of tolerance for so long. They don't know how to relax. They don't know how to sit still. They go to sit still on a Sunday afternoon and they get irritable. They get angry. They're getting frustrated and their mind gets busy and they start thinking I should and things that need to be done. They can't be in their body and be at rest. So people come to me and they are absolutely burnt out. Their body is physically exhausted. We are not meant to perform from this branch of our nervous system forever, ongoing. It is meant to be an instinctual response. It is meant to be a coping mechanism, a survival skill, and then we are meant to, quote unquote, shake it off and come back into our window of tolerance. Most of us don't know how to come back into our window of tolerance. There's many reasons for that. A lot of it is conditioning. A lot of it is just being habitually functioning from the stress response, fight, flight. But what happens is you crash and burn. Some people literally land themselves in depression. They may have been functioning here for a little bit, and then they are thrown and they function here, and then they crash all the way into hypoarousal. Now, when we are in hypoarousal, a lot of people think, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Something's faulty. I'm depressed. Do I need medication? And maybe you do, but maybe you don't. It can be explained with this, right? That's where it's important to have a team of healthcare providers and not just take one and one only for advice, including myself. But it is a pattern that I see so commonly, is that people have been functioning out of their window of tolerance. And here's a trick, something that many people don't know, is the longer you function in a hyper aroused state, you shrink your window of tolerance. Things that used to bother you 5 days ago, 5 months ago, 5 years ago, it's like that, right? You get a shorter and shorter fuse, so to speak. Your window of tolerance, your ability to be cool, calm, collected, and present becomes so narrow. And that's frustrating. You start to internalize it, and we start to create feedback loops. That's another video I have for you. But we get such a narrow window of tolerance that we have no safe landing place. So we crash into hypoarousal. That is why when people come to me and we're working on this and I'm giving them this information, I will always caution about rushing back to work. And the reason I would caution that is because it's a condition. And when you challenge this condition, this habitual response of being in a stress state, and you challenge it, your mind gets really, really active because it feels threatened. It doesn't feel safe. Returning to your window of tolerance that is really narrow feels foreign. You haven't been there for so long. You don't know how to be there. Because we don't know how to be there, the mind gets active and says, this is terrible, this isn't working, I just need to go back to doing what I was doing. If I work harder, it's going to get better. Whatever the mind says. And it rushes you from hypo-aroused right back into hyperarousal. And that's why we often need more than, say, 1 or 2 weeks to kind of adjust and renegotiate with our nervous system and our physical body and the symptomology of these stress states to actually learn how to come back into a window of tolerance, and not only come back to it, but come back and be present in it long enough that we can expand that window of tolerance, right? That our capacity for joy, for rest, for pleasure, for creativity is as big, if not bigger, than our capacity for these stress states. So this is really important work. There's so much here that I have tried to capture in less than 10 minutes here for you. This is kind of like a fast and deep dive into it. I wanted to share this with you because it is so very common, and sometimes we just need to understand the why. Like, why am I feeling this way? Or why on earth are counselors and therapists talking about this? I hope this gave you sort of some of the background information and a little bit of the why, and helps you understand your patterns. So if you haven't been here in a rest and digest, a parasympathetic state, cool, calm, collected for quite some time, there's maybe some questions. If you're in a fight, flight, or a freeze, like, what are you feeling? Are you tight? Are you clenched? Are you irritable? Or are you totally numb, disconnected? You could rot on the couch all evening and you're just on autopilot. So those are some of your indicators for the stress states. And what's here? What's your window of tolerance? What brings you joy? What brings you ease, even when life isn't easy? If you found this helpful, hit like, share, subscribe, keep this good information going. My name is Chrissy, the Emotional Intelligence Nurse. I also have information for you in my link in bio if you would like more, and I'll catch you on the next one.